Hello, people. Reading through the notes this morning, or comments, and seen that somebody actually bought a Voltol. Congratulations. You just bought a controller that will definitely work with this bike and goes in a absolutely fantastic location. Here's what you got to do. Yellow, green, blue. Now originally, that's not the way it was. Let's see, I can't quite remember what order these were in, but I can definitely tell you what I was told to do, and that is switch. So I got blue here, yellow here. Those have to be switched. The yellow and blue wires have to be switched on that controller. And this is going to stand also for the stock motor. That stock motor turned automatically in reverse. And the controller doesn't seem to like going at a negative 60 phase angle, which is what that motor is intended to run on the stock motor. So if you switch these two, you also have to switch the hall sensor. One of the viewers said he was having a hall sensor error. Well, if you've got these two switched around already, congratulations, but you definitely have to do this. I didn't do this in because I was advised by Harry Zool. Don't mess with this end. Work with it coming out of the controller plug, because this can be replaced. This cannot. This end goes straight into the motor. They do have a spare, which is fantastic. Great. Glad they do, because you never know. But don't mess with this because it comes out of the motor. Just change this. This adapter can always be replaced. That's no problem. But the order, yellow, green, blue. You got to switch. The blue was here. It was blue, green, yellow. So these two had to be switched around. Phase flux weakening is not compatible on the stock motor. Also, brake regeneration is not compatible on the stock motor. The stock controller does not have brake regeneration. The only thing the brake does is cancel out the motor. That's it. So if you're running the stock motor, disable brake regeneration, put it on 0. Flux weakening, page 2, needs to go to 0. HDC enabled, that is your RPM control. And that can vary. I never did mess with any of the settings in this wiring setup. I always tried the negative 60, and I had nothing but trouble. So, found out later, after I got everything said and done, that the stock motor is not flux weakening compatible, and it is not brake regeneration compatible. So if you turn those two off, you should be okay. I haven't had this thing turned on in a couple of months. That light's still on. Let's see how my batteries are doing that I built. Look at that, 83 volts. We've had some cold temps, dude. I live in Kentucky. And we had an ice storm not too long ago. Matter of fact, 3 winter storms back to back to back. But everything's melted off now. That's about all I wanted to put in on that. I'm definitely not taking it out. It's only like 48 degrees right now, and it's not going to be sunny and rainy all weekend. And if you want to try and get more out of the batteries, I would not recommend it. But do, by all means, change out that 10 amp, that stock wire, because it is not going to handle 38 amp that well. If you want to keep the wire small, you could go with 210 gauge. But to be honest, I wouldn't want to go any less than 2 10 gauge wires. Or you can just leave it like it is, but there is a pretty bad voltage drop. But anyway, I seen the comment on the Voltol come in, and I was like, oh, yep, better plug some info in. And any of you running the Sabaton, there again, stock motor, turn off flux weakening, turn off brake regeneration, check your model to make sure it's high brake compatible. If not, you won't be able to use it for this bike unless you convert the bike over for the controller. And if you're running the stock batteries, 38 amp. That's it. That's all you're going to get. So you bought a 150 and you're running on batteries that can only handle 38 amp. And actually, I wouldn't want to push those above 35. It is possible for them to overheat and swell. They're just small lead acid batteries. Even though they're sealed, they're not really intended to run high current. Alright guys, I'm gonna run back in and check out these other comments, and I'll catch you later.